Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So in this today's video we'll be solving a very exciting problem, and to be honest this is a very conceptual problem, a very conceptual problem. And you can see that it is a combination of equations as well as complex numbers. So I just linked two concepts and combined them and actually made a question. So this equation is actually given by this question was actually asked by one of my juniors, and this other question, that's the complex number part, is actually framed by me. So I just combined these two to form and frame this question. So initially this question can be solved in two or three ways, but we shall look out the best and conventional way of solving this question. And this solution, I was not able to figure out this initially, but later on I was able to do this in another way, but that is not much recommendable. But the very good the very best solution was actually figured out by my friend Manoj Kumar. So I thank him for sharing his solution and his approach, and that I'm actually putting in front of few people. So the thing is, in the question we can see that f of x is a giant equation. Fine, it is an equation of degree 20, and it has been told to us that it has m complex roots, omega square and so on till omega power m. Then we need to find the value of, so it's a double sigma question. So like this question, double sigma is also can also be approached in a very delightful manner. So I shall explain that also. So the first thing is, let us write f of x. So f of x is equal to 1 plus 2x plus 3x square. So we must actually be we must actually take care of the terms that are given to us. Fine. So plus so on plus 11x power 10. So this is one set. So we can divide this by one set, and then 10x power 11 plus 9x power 12. Fine, plus 8x power 13 and plus so on, and the last term would be 2x power 19 plus x power 20. Fine, so these are the two sets that are given to us. Like, to be honest, you can just multiply this f of x by x and then put the terms in the corresponding manner. Like the very first term will be under the second term of this original f of x. So in that way you can solve it, like just multiply x by f of x, and this would be x plus 2x square plus 3x cube plus so on. Like each and every term will be like we can write the each and every term under the corresponding terms. Like the very first term, we just need to equate the degrees. The x degree should be equal, so we can just do it and then subtract this. But this logic seems to be applied here. But two, the thing is, it we can see it is a combination of two different AGPs. Fine, it's a combination of two different AGPs. In this AGP, the common ratio is x and the difference is 1. And here we can see the the common ratio is x and the difference is -1. Fine. So that is the reason it is a combination of two AGPs, two different AGPs. We are actually able to figure out it just by multiplying by x and then solving it. Like if you people just solve it further, you will actually get the exact idea of the simplified version of f of x. So just to avoid confusion, we shall actually divide this into two different AGPs and then solve them separately. Fine. So this would be like, so we shall assume this to be this series to be s dash and this series to be s double dash. So and this to be capital S. So that means that s is equal to s dash plus s double dash. Fine. So this is the conclusion that we need to have. So solving for s, we have s is equal to 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus so on till plus 11x power 10. So we shall multiply by x. So xx would be, so this is s dash, sorry, s dash would be, so writing the corresponding terms, x plus 2x square plus so on, plus this would be 10x power 10 plus 11x power 11, and you just need to subtract them now. So you get s dash of 1 minus x to be 1 plus x square plus so on till plus x power 10 minus 11x power 11. Fine, this is what we want to get. So these are this is what we are ended up. And now the second part, that is s double dash. So that would be s double dash is equal to 10x power 11 plus 9x power 12 plus so on plus 2x power 19 plus x power 20. So just multiply by x now. So x double dash would be this would be 10x power 12 plus so on this would be 2x power 20. So did small mistake here. So this would be 3x power so this is 12 and this is 12 19 plus 2x power 20 and plus x power 21. So when you again subtract these two, you would find that s double dash of 1 minus x to be 10x power 11 minus x power 12 so on till at the very final we'll be ending up with minus x power 21. So let us add these two. So let us add these two. We find that s dash of 1 minus x plus s double dash of 1 plus x, and that is actually equal to so we can say it here 1 plus x square till so on minus x 11x power 11. So 1 plus x square plus so on till minus 11x power 11. So this is one set, and the other set is 10x power 11 minus x power 12 minus till so on minus x power 21. So this is minus 10 so this is plus of plus 10x power 11 minus x power 12 so on minus x power 21. Fine, this is what we are left with. So we can just add them up. So minus 11x power 11 and plus 10x power 11, this actually simplifies to minus x power 11. So this is 1 plus x square plus so on till plus x power 10, and then minus x power 11 minus x power 12 so on minus x power 21. So this is 1 plus x square plus so on till plus x power 10. We can just take x power 11 to be common. We get 1 plus x square plus so on till x power 10. And now this is 1 plus x square plus so on plus x power 10 into 1 minus x power 11. And this is s dash of like you can just take 1 minus x to be common, and you see that 1 minus x into s plus s dash s double dash plus s dash, and this is actually s of 1 minus x is equal to 1 plus x square plus so on plus x power 10 into 1 minus x power 11, and now s is equal to 1 plus x square plus so on plus x power 10 into 1 minus x power 11 divided by 1 minus x. So you can actually proceed in two different ways here. So this is actually 1 plus x square plus so on plus x power 10. It's a GP. We can clearly see it is a GP with a is equal to 1, r is equal to x. Fine. So this sum is actually 1 into so because it is you can like taking this into reference, we can write this as 1 minus x power 10 divided by 1 minus x. So this actually simplifies to 1 minus x sorry, this is 11. So 11 whole square divided by 1 minus x whole square, which is equal to 0, right? So this is what I have asked, like this is the equation. Like we need to find the roots to be honest, because this is what we are like to find the sigma value at last we need to find the roots. So this actually seems us to be x power 11 is equal to 1. So from here we can conclude that x power 11 is equal to 1 says that we are actually looking out for 11 roots of unity, and from that if one is a root and the other roots would be omega square plus so on omega power 10. So from this we can conclude that m is equal to 10. And the other way to conclude that this equation has only complex roots is see, for example, there's 1 minus x power 11 by 1 minus x. So this can be written as 1 minus x power. So this part is actually the simple this part, right? This actually simplifies up to this part. So basically s would be 1 plus x square plus so on till x power 10 whole square, and this should be 0. So if anything whole power 2 or even odd even power is 0 raised to even power is 0, that means the base should be 0. Fine. So that means 1 plus x square plus so on till x power 10 should be 0, and again this is basically nothing but this. Fine. And from here we can say that x power 11 is equal to 1 is the conclusion that we need to come. So from this we can say omega square so on till omega power 10 are the roots that we are actually looking for. So the question turns out to be sigma j is equal to 0 to 77, sigma k is equal to 0 to 10, because m is the like m is equal to 10, and this is equal to omega power k whole power j. Fine. So this is sigma j is equal to 0 to 77. First expanding the first sigma, so that turns out to be omega power 0 whole power j plus omega power 1 whole power j plus so on, plus omega power k last is 10, so whole power j. So this is what we'll end up with. And now putting j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2 till j is equal to 77. So this comes out to be omega power 0 whole power 0 plus omega power 1 whole power 1 plus so on, plus omega power 10 whole power 0. So fine, this is 0 actually, yeah, and this is one set. Fine, this is one set, and plus now j is equal to 1, so this turns out to be omega power 0 power 1 plus omega power 1 plus omega square power 1 plus so on till omega power 10 power 1, and this is another set, plus so on till at last we'll be ending up with omega power 0 power 77, omega power 1 power 77 plus so on, plus omega power 10 power 77, and this is the last set. Fine, this is the last set. Now we need to actually like understand the fact that I shall write that with a white ink. So if if an equation of nth degree, if an equation of nth degree as n roots of unity, and they are 1, omega square so on till omega power n minus 1, then 1 plus 1 power m, I shall use a different letter here, 1 power a plus omega power a plus omega square whole power a plus so on, plus omega power n minus 1 whole power a is actually equal to, this is like n roots of unity, right? So this will actually be equal to n, and 1 power a plus omega power a plus omega square whole power a plus so on, plus omega power n minus 1 whole power a will be equal to 0, and is equal to n if a is multiple of n, if a is multiple of n, and is equal to 0 if a is not a multiple of n, not a multiple of n. You can take the classical example, cube roots of unity. So cube roots of unity are 1 omega square, isn't it? And if you just add them up, 1 plus omega square, this is 0, and 1 plus omega square plus omega power 4, raising each of the terms to power of 2, and that's again 0. Now if you raise them to the power of 3, 1 plus omega square whole power 3 is omega power 6, and this is omega power 12, and this is actually 1, sorry, 3. Fine, this is 3, because 3 is like 3 is n here, and these are cube roots of unity. So we can see that, and because also we have raised all these terms to the power of 3, and 3 is a multiple of 3. 3 is a multiple of 3. So that's the reason we have got the value of the summation to be n, and that's n is equal to 3 here. N is equal to 3 here. So this is the conclusion, like this is the fact that we need to remember. So if that is the case, we can see that, so what are the multiples of, so like I forgot to erase this stuff that's actually given in the YouTube, in the PDF itself. So we shall write that here separately. So the thing is, we can see that j is equal to 0, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77. These are the multiples of 11, isn't it? Because we are discussing about the 11 roots of unity. So these are the multiples of 11. So all the summations, so all the summations containing the j to be 11 multiples will actually give the result to be 11. Fine. For if j is multiple of 11. Fine. So that is the conclusion. So we can find 0, 11, 12, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77 till j, like because we are ending up our sigma j value to 77. These are the multiples we can find that are of 11. So therefore the sigma, the total summation would be 77, sorry, 8 times, fine. So I shall write it again. So 8 times of 11 plus all the remaining summation. All the remaining summation will be 0. And that, so 0 into anything will be 0. But for better understanding, I shall write that. So because we are left with 8 summations which are actually giving us 11 out of 78. So other summation will be 70. So finally the answer is 88. So the required answer is 88. So we can actually remember this fact in this way. So we can use this fact in this way. So this is the fact that we have used, like this is equal to n if a is multiple of n, and this is equal to 0 if a is not a multiple of n. The same fact that we have used here. So if j is equal to 1, this summation would be 0, and this 0 is a multiple of 11, so this is equal to 11. And this 77 is also multiple of 11, so this is also equal to 11. So finally we'll be getting 8 summations, where 8 semi summations, in which you'll be finding the result to be 11. So 8 into 11, and remaining other 70 summations, so that will actually result to you the answer as 0. So 70 into 0 is the final answer. So this is the final answer. So I hope you guys actually enjoyed this. So this is a very fascinating problem to solve. Like I just clubbed these two concepts to have a better look, and like I felt like using this type of facts and all will actually enhance our thinking skills, and so we can actually keep our brain open to large number of like approaches towards solving any type of problem. Like this equation can be solved in another way. Like I would not like to like I would not advise this method to anyone, but better you can actually take this x power 10 to be common. So for example, if we see a palindrome equation like one, I would write with a red ink, that would be better. So if we take any palindrome equation like x power 4 plus 3x cube plus 2x square plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. We can see that it's a palindrome equation, isn't it? Because the coefficient of x power 4 and the coefficient of constant is same, and coefficient of x cube is equal to coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x square is just 2. It doesn't depend upon, like we have no like dependence upon the coefficient of x square. So these type of equations are known as palindrome equations, and these can be easily solved just by taking the middle coefficient. Like we have 4 here, so the middle coefficient would be x square, square, right? I'm sorry, it's not coefficient, the middle term. So x square, x, if I assume n to be 4, then that would be n divided by 2. So we can just take this to be common. We get x square plus 3x plus 2 plus 3, so this would be 3 by x plus 1 by x square, fine, is equal to 0. And now this x plus 1 by x can be assumed as y. So x square plus 1 by x square can be written as y minus 2, and this again solves to be a like a quadratic equation. So from biquadratic we have reduced it to a quadratic. So in the same fashion we can even take x power 10 to be common, because this is also a palindrome equation, as you can see. So, but after you take x power 10 as a common term and then solve it, the things become little complicated, but still will be ending up with the final answer. That their complex roots will be omega, omega squared, so on till omega power 10. So this will be the complex roots. So I hope you guys enjoyed this problem. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned.